What's the difference between a bugler and a burglar? One has a bugle and the other one's really annoyed because his bugle's been stolen. Welcome to the latest edition of the Allotment Diaries, part of an adventure in taste and time. I'm Andy. Hope you enjoyed this week's video. Like and subscribe. General positivity, a few little work bits done here and there. So let's start off by taking a look at plot 35. Crossing over the orchard area, what do we have? Berries! Look at them. I need to net these. But no gooseberries that I can see. Raspberries coming along. And the rhubarb, that's getting pretty massive. Apparently I shouldn't harvest any this year still, but yeah, happy with them. Asparagus, again, no harvest this year, and maybe just a little next year, but they are gaining strength. Hopefully the roots are doing good stuff. Globe artichokes, they need a weeding as well, but growing. Probably nothing this year. And here are the beans. And you'll notice that I did build a sort of retaining fence around them, using bits of old pallet and string with my trusty drill. These are the beetroot, growing nicely, and beyond them we have spring onions growing slowly and lettuces. What's lurking underneath the Portaloo roof? Grass clippings from when I mowed the paths. I'm drying it out, making it brown matter to go into the compost bin to combine with the green matter which is predominantly there. Carrots, one or two, a little bit of germination coming along there, finally. Never had much luck with carrots at home, and only having a little bit of luck here I think, but it's something. I need to get covers over here. And I think that is a radish. I've grown some radishes, but they don't seem to be doing very well. I've planted some radishes in there. They don't seem to be doing well. Sweetcorn, all planted. These are sweetcorns which I had grown in the greenhouse. I put 2 per pot and then picked out the weakest out of each pot where 2 had germinated. Then it's a matter of marking out the ground. This ground will be prepared with some manure and well, planting them. And ubiquitous water. Moving on, the peas. They're in trouble. I think the birds are eating the leaves. I'd only noticed when I looked up close, a lot of the leaves are just eaten away. So I'm going to have to do something about that. potatoes, developing, what more can I say? That's the second row of potatoes. They're a bit bigger. In the greenhouse I put in this piece of wood, and how we did it was that. This was the height of the banks before. I measured and put these together at home and then hammered them into place so they extended the existing sort of sides of the beds by another few inches. With a bit of hammering. And that's ready for some more compost to go in, and then we can plant some stuff. So let's take a look in the garden. On the top here we have the asparagus that I've grown myself to fill in where the crowns I bought may not have germinated, but I think all bar one definitely has. That's 19 out of 20. So I've got to think a little bit about what to do with that. These toilet rolls are runner beans, and these ones here are runner beans that I've saved the seed myself. So I want to compare germination for a laugh. So it's runner bean planting time. I'm using the same beans as I did last year, stringless emergo runner bean from Real Seeds, and I do love their packaging. I think it's just so charming, but they're also very good. They really are stringless, and I really did enjoy them last year, and I still have some in the freezer actually, and made a successful chutney, which for poppadoms, like mango chutney, which I think we'll share when we get there. It certainly was very popular with some guys I tried out in London. Well, I didn't try them out, I tried the chutney out. So for today I'm just pouring them into there and adding water. Tomorrow we shall pop them. Now, going back to my very first video, which is by part of introduction, before I even had the allotment, I cleared down the runner beans from last year here in the garden, and because it was against the wall I found some beans which I've missed and I've kept dried out. This is them. Some of might have gone a bit manky, the mankiest ones I'm not using, but it will be fun, I thought, to compare germination rates between the ones that I bought, which were actually packaged last year, and the ones I grew. So a bit of water just to soften this hard outer shell before we pop them tomorrow, and I'll be showing them how to make your homemade pots. So it's the next day now, and I've just drained off the beans. As you can see, they've all swollen, rather larger. The home sade seems to have swollen, if anything, a bit more, and also taken a greyer colour than the commercially sold ones. So what's different, I don't know. Both 2024 vintage. These are arguably probably younger because they were taken off the beans in November. So what have we got next? Toilet rolls. These I've saved, well, from the obvious place over the last few months. And what I'm going to do in each of these is do about a 2 centimetre cut on one end at 120 degrees roughly, i.e. a third around, it doesn't have to be exact, each, and then fold down the 3 corners. It doesn't have to be that, and there we have a rudimentary pot that hopefully will we can just let them germinate in that, plant straight out, and then this will disintegrate in the soil and the plant comes out. It'll probably start disintegrating even before that, because some people say try not to water it, get water on this. I tend to not care, but pack them in, as you'll see in a bit. So I'll just get some compost. On this occasion, I'm not using my usual mixed up compost, either the seed, which is core and vermiculite, or my usual, which is enriched with some worm cast and either vermiculite or perlite. But just straight from the bag, about half bag that I happen to have knocking about of manure. So I'm going to put my home ones aside and take advantage of this thing. The commercial ones in there. Pack this into about 2 centimeters below. I'm not bothering about orientation either. If you disagree fulsomely about that, then let me know. They will be going into my trusty mushroom crate, or one of them, in the mini greenhouse. And notice we won't be going to the grow lights today because they're off. It's warm out here, it's going to be warm for the rest of the summer, touch wood. You can always pull things in for a night if there's a sudden unseasonable frost. The tomatoes, one died, but the rest seem to be doing okay. And finally, I've got some courgettes germinating. I'm hoping that soon we'll also see some germination of the summer crookneck. And out here now are the cucumbers, and they are all looking happy and healthy. Not much in here now. Leeks, I don't know if they're going to germinate or not. I'm keeping them watered. And the herbs, again, I need to put some more. Some more seeds in. They don't seem to have germinated much. So why is it so empty? Over here, if those regular users know, this year I seem to have spent a lot of time letting my plants get overheated. So I've laid out this table with seedlings so that they get shade during the heat of the day and then a bit of sun in the evening, so only partial sun. So absolutely ready to go out is the chard. Spring onions doing okay. I've repotted my brassicas, the summer cabbage and some surviving cauliflowers. I need to put some more out. Some more brassicas here. They just, I don't know, just seem to be struggling. And various brassicas in this tray. Very, very little. Well, I don't know what happened there. One of them seems to have got washed out. Lettuces. Okay, that's a reasonable amount of lettuces for later in the summer. And finally, some radishes, which are just beginning to start poking their heads through. So, as I say, no more grow lights. Have a good week. See you next time. Like, subscribe, take care, and bye.